predictable. And we're actually trying to work on some budget amendments right now that do impact bike lanes. So very kind of serendipitous, I think. Been a lot of neighborhood engagement over doing something different in this area and doing a little bit more connectivity. The bike lanes concept really started off more as a there was one neighbor who kept having cars go in her backyard who lives in Wynwood North, and they asked me to come over there, and it was the last curve as you're going north before you get to Tyler Station. She and her husband lived in one of those houses that backs up to Tyler, and they 2 or 3 times had people come through their fence, I believe, just missing the curve and taking it too fast. So we started off based on that and some input from both the Tyler Vernon Neighborhood Association and Wynwood North on just trying those little zebra markers, which didn't survive very well. But I think it did slow down traffic a little bit, so I've heard. And now the decision is whether we move it to the next phase, whether we invest resources in creating true bike lanes for this area, or whether people want it to stay as 6 lanes. So staff's I can't stay, I wish I could, but staff's they're great about collecting input from everybody, and we'll pass it along to us. Ultimately, I'm down this way all the time, but I don't live right there. And so I want to do what the neighborhood wants. And so I look forward to hearing from the neighborhood either tonight or as you guys talk to your neighbors who aren't here, please let them know that we certainly value their feedback too. So with that, I'll turn it back over to who's going to be leading? Is it Jessica or?
Yes, I'll be leading it with the help of my coworkers and our director.
Well, great. Well, thank you guys for your service tonight, and I'm excited to hear. I love bike lanes. I love traffic calming. It's a priority of mine, and excited to have you guys doing this tonight. Thank you. I'll check back in if I can kick everybody out of my office in time. So, thanks.
Thank you. All right. So I believe everyone can see my presentation, and I think we are recording. So please mute your microphones. And let's get started. So for those who are actually on the computer, just a reminder where you can find these icons on your screen. Also like to note that after the meeting, we'll be posting the presentation. You can find this at bit.ly/Vernon Bike Project. So as I mentioned, my name is Jessica Scott. I'm the Bicycle Mobility Manager in the Department of Transportation at the City of Dallas. And I'm joined tonight by my coworkers. I believe we have Gus on the line, who is our Director in Transportation, Catherine Rush, who is our Chief Planner, Frank and Yusuf, who are engineers, and Hortensia, who's going to help me facilitate this meeting tonight. So with that, I will begin tonight's agenda. We'll discuss the project location, the project purpose, discuss the proposed improvements, detail how this project is different than the COVID pilot project, which is currently out there, discuss the future project phases that might be included in the future, and lastly, wrap up with how you can provide feedback and open it up for discussion. So the project location is on Vernon Avenue from the south of the Tyler Vernon station to the Wynwood Shopping Village Center, north of Illinois Avenue. So this project will connect neighbors and residents to either of these facilities. The purpose of this project is to provide bicycle connectivity, again, from the DART Tyler Vernon Rail Station to the Wynwood Shopping Center. We're hoping to see, as Councilmember West mentioned, traffic calming on this street due to the concerns from residents in the neighborhoods. And all of this implementing bike facilities, traffic calming. It's a part of the Dallas Comprehensive Environmental and Climate Action Plan, or CCAP. And it's also a goal of the Dallas Bike Plan. So as mentioned, the Dallas Bike Plan are the routes in blue on this map. And Vernon Avenue, as well as Tyler and Polk, are really a key bicycle corridor in this section of the city. As you can see on the map, in the green is funded bike lanes that will be installed on Polk. And with this facility on Vernon, we're really just hoping to make this corridor very bicycle friendly and to provide the connections not only to these destinations on the corridor, but as a route north and south through the area. So the proposed improvements that we would like to see on this corridor include converting what is currently a 6-foot divided roadway, which is 3 lanes in each direction with the median, to a 4-lane divided roadway, which consists of 2 lanes in each direction with a bicycle facility on either side. The travel lanes on the corridor would be widened by 1 foot to a total of 11 feet, which would make it easier for DART buses to navigate. Changes would also include restriping and additional signage. We wanted to note that no concrete work is expected, so we're not changing curbs or adding anything. It's just striping and signage. Also want to note that this project accommodates bus stops and driveways along the corridor. And for visual learners, so this is a screenshot from the plan. Northbound is to the right, so kind of tilt this as you're looking at it. As we said, we're going to keep the 2 inside lanes, expand them to 11 foot, and add bike facilities on the outside lanes. The bike lanes will be 5 feet wide, and at this particular cross section, the buffer will be 2.5 feet wide. Most of the corridor where it allows is 3-foot buffer. And another visual of what this looks like, this is using Street Mix. The bike lanes are on the outside lanes with a 3-foot buffer, 11-foot drive lanes. So the difference in the demonstration project that is out there right now and the bike lanes that we're proposing, it's kind of twofold. One, we're adding them to the other side of the roadway. And 2, we are considering changing the barrier type. We've seen a lot of the barriers that have been out there through this demonstration project have become dislodged and have really become a hazard to both motorists and cyclists. Another project that we've recently installed in East Dallas on Abrams Avenue uses a different type of barrier. Again, we haven't finalized that decision, but we are looking into different types of barriers to mitigate the concerns that we've seen on the demonstration project. So as I mentioned, this project is south of the rail line to Illinois. Future phases of connecting this project include the gap that would be between the other bike lanes that are planned to be installed on Polk and this project. So streets kind of meander here, so it's that Tyler section. Other projects that we have in the area there's a trail project to the west. The on-street connections have not been funded. So we are seeking your input. Do you like what we have designed? Do you like what we've presented? Do you think it will answer any of the concerns that you've seen with the demonstration project? Please let us know at d.planning@dallascityhall.com, or you can call 469-798-3123. And we'll leave the formal comment period open until September 8th. I think that's 2 weeks from today. And this presentation will be posted to bit.ly/Vernon Bike Project. So you can visit that website. We will post the presentation, a recording of the presentation if we can get that functionality to work. And otherwise, I think we will just open it up to any comments. So Hortensia, do you see any comments in the chat, or if anyone has any questions, feel free to raise your hand or unmute and you can go ahead and ask your questions.
There are currently no comments in the chat. However, if you are interested in participating either by phone, you can unmute yourself by hitting *6. And if you're interested in just submitting a question in chat, you can do so now.
And staff, if you have
Hi,
anything else.
my name is James. Can you hear me? I'm one of the neighbors.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I may have spoken over someone that was speaking at the same time. But again, my name is James. I'm one of the neighbors in Wynwood North. And I was the one that actually called several times just when the zebras were being, had broken by, the high rate of speed that people were traveling, going north on Vernon. And, as mentioned, those were a hazard. And I know that, a couple of accidents, bicycle related and motorcycle related, that were as a result of, coming in contact and hitting those. So it's excellent that we're not going to have the zebras anymore. At least I know that in that the straightaway is where they were being impacted. And then, of course, that making the turn, I know that some are still existing, but I know that the process improvement there will be made. One of the things I would like to suggest is, because I do ride a bike and I do use the lane, the issue that I was experiencing, and I'm assuming that it's because the street cleaners were not able to cross over those zebras, is I did, have a flat tire as a result of all the trash buildup that was on the inside of that bike lane. So since we're not going to have those, maybe that's not going to be an issue, but whatever is being implemented, if that's something that could be taken into consideration, that the street cleaners are able to go into the bike lane to keep them clean,
Yes,
would be something that I would request. And then also some type of, reflective, and I'm not able to see the presentation, so maybe have it on there, but some type of reflective, just because you are going to be reducing the width of the lane to make it more apparent. And I, me living on, on my backyard backs up to there, and I do have access to, the Vernon. I do, we do place our trash cans out there. So that should be also something else that we should be taking into consideration, is the trash trucks being able to access our trash cans to be able to, dump them, and then whatever is placed there that hopefully would be able to withstand the trash trucks and the weight, to where the reflective or whatever you're going to place there are not damaged as they do cross over, or the buses cross over to pick up the, people from the bike lane. So really it was those three items: the trash, the trucks possibly passing over, and then the bus would be something that I would recommend.
Okay, thank you. I can go ahead and answer a couple of those. So what day is trash day for you all?
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. We'll work to see where the trash cans are being placed and see if we can come up with a solution to that. Typically, Do you all put the trash cans, they're still on the curb, right? Like in the grass?
Well, because of the zebras that were there, we were forced to put them out in the bike lane so that way the truck could reach with the arm to pick them up. But now that, at least on our stretch, the zebras all gone. So now it can be placed on. I have a small driveway entry that I place it there.
Okay. We'll follow up to make sure that those details work out. And otherwise, in other places around the city, we've had success with putting the trash cans in the buffer space between the bike facility and the travel lane. So that might be a way to mitigate this concern. But we'll follow up for the details and specifics. Related to the street sweeper, yes, we do have a bike lane street sweeper, and that is more narrow than the traditional street sweeper. And this facility will be swept. So in the future, it will be on the schedule to be swept, and hopefully you won't be seeing the level of debris that you've seen during the demonstration project. And for your question about reflectivity, was that in regard to reflectivity on the barrier type or for like lane line striping?
No, I didn't know if there was going to be some type of reflect. I know that I've seen where there's like a reflected light as you're driving northbound or you're driving traffic. You can see the reflective,
Yes.
Those little reflective plates. I don't know what they are that are glued onto the street.
Yes, any of the separation devices that we choose will have reflectivity on them, so that will be something that is included.
Okay, and then I guess the last thing is just the zebras were a total disaster, because they were just tossed everywhere when they would get hit. But I would also ask if you've been out there lately. I don't know if this is the type of paint that is used for the lines, but they haven't even lasted. Like just the lines are already fading, or I guess I don't know if they're fading or what the issue is, but the paint is not lasting. I don't know if there's something that can be improved there with the type of paint that is being used, or epoxy, or whatever it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for that question, James. We have a few more questions here. We have one from Orlando. He makes a comment and says, I support the addition of bike lanes. Are there additional measures for traffic calming measures being considered?
So I'll take the first stab at this, and then if Frank or Gus want to jump in. Right now, it is just the bike lanes, which will add, and the delineation, which will add traffic calming to the street by kind of tightening up kind of the visual space that motorists see. So the bike lane with the buffer is the traffic calming that will be used.
Yeah, as far as the additional traffic calming, this is something that we will be further evaluating as we implement the bike lane.
Okay, great. Thank you, Orlando, for that question. Our next question comes from Temple A. When will the bike lane gap on Tyler between the Polk bike lane and the Vernon bike lane be designed or constructed? Also, when will the Polk bike lane be completed?
So this is something that we've added to our list of needs, and something that we're considering for fiscal years, either next year or the years after that. Just depends on when we can get to it. It is a gap that we have noticed. So it is on our list as funding becomes available. And I don't have the details on the Polk bike lane, but that's something we can follow up as we get that information from Public Works.
Are there any other questions? Okay, that looks like that's it. That's all. Oh, we have one more. Okay, Temple A says, when will construction on this project start?
So as we finish up design in the next couple weeks, Gus, I would say at least.
Okay, well, first, I think
Depends on
we need
feedback.
to wait. We need to wait until we get the full input. I mean, we have the public comment open till September, right? And then based on that, we have to evaluate what kind of input we got and what adjustments needs to be made to the design. So we're a good a month away from the design you know, completion based on the input that we received. Matter of fact, the earlier caller had several good items that we need to kind of incorporate, and that will require some additional design work that has to be carefully reevaluated. So we can prepare or provide a more accurate timeline after September 8th to see what all the public comments are and see what type of adjustment that have to be made with the plan. So I would say we can provide a better, a more accurate timeline on this after the September 8th deadline.
Awesome. Thank you, Gus. And we'll update the project website with that information, which is, I believe, still on your screens. And can we add the project website to the chat for everyone? And any other remaining questions, either on the line or that anyone wants to add to the chat?
One more for our caller. If you do have any additional comments or questions, please, since you're not able to see the presentation, please email us at d.planning, that's ddotplanning@dallascityhall.com. Or again, the phone number to call for any questions is 469-798-3123. And again, all of this information will also be posted to the department website, which is available at bit.ly, that's bit.ly/Vernon Bike Project.
All right. Well, seeing no other questions in the chat and hearing none other, I think we can call it a meeting unless anyone has anything else to add.
I just want to mention one thing is that I want to thank the residents for their valuable input through this process, and we work together as a team, and we're improving the design based on the valuable input that we got from the residents. So a big thank you to y'all and for your valuable input, and everything that you have provided us has been very valuable and will be incorporated in the final design. Again, thank you so much for your input, and have a great evening.
All right, thank you.